Okay, let's actually look at the two decks. I do recall you saying Hype has a Slay. Oh, he doesn't have a Slay. Yeah, so those Thunder Hides, if they do come out, is going to be an issue. But Hype does have counterplay. He can interact with the heroes very favorably. He has Coup de Grace. He's got Tyler Sensor Estate. Or Tyler Estate Sensor, rather, to shrink the mana. And, yeah. I think mostly he's going to just look to overall just kill the heroes with Coup de Grace, Hipfire, things of that nature. I think when you're playing a deck that has 3/1/1, you're extremely susceptible to Coup de Grace. Especially with open deck lists, Hype will be able to see that you're trying to play 10 cards, 10 black cards with one black hero. So you could actually pick on Debbie pretty easily. I mean, Debbie doesn't have the highest health, so. With that said, though, I think Unscathed deck is actually quite good. If you take the two players' name out, I'm actually going to favor Unscathed deck. But we'll see how it actually play out.
Yeah, I agree. Unscathed deck is surprisingly strong, and I'm really looking forward to this matchup against Hype. Both players just kind of bullying their opponents in the previous round.
Ding 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 ding. Turn 1 kill.
On an Enchantress too, so that's really nice.
Unscathed could make a play here to Stars Align into Verdant Refuge, which will save his hero. But we're entering in some Twilight Zone territory if he does that. Might not be the worst play, actually. Let's see if he's gonna do it. I'm never a proponent of Stars Align turn 1, because you're not. Yeah, he's gonna just let his hero die.
Yeah, that.
You know,
would have saved him this turn, but still would have lost him the next turn.
Well, the thing is, I think that the only reason that makes a play okay is because it makes your deployment phase much easier. So don't think about what happens right now, but think about where Drow Ranger is going to come in. In fact, where is Drow Ranger going to come in? You don't have a good lane to deploy her, because if you deploy her left, she's going to land right in front of the PA and die again. So I think because of that, it was okay to go Stars Align into Verdant Refuge. Personally. And now this PA ain't gonna die. This PA is gonna keep on trucking along.
I do like the decision here to put Farvin into the left lane, because if Unscathed had decided to deploy into the left lane, a home field advantage, I feel like actually would get some pretty big value.
I mean, home field advantage is going to get value no matter what. He's now going to dump it in the middle lane and pressure that lane instead.
You don't think the right lane?
Well, the middle lane has 2 heroes, right? So you have twice of a chance of hitting the right target. The right lane only has 1 hero, so the right lane is also less important than the middle lane.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking about disarming that LC from dueling anybody.
I mean, is LC gonna duel anybody? There's a 410 that he could duel, but who cares? He's not gonna win the duel. Yeah, so home field advantage middle is very likely to play. Good hit for 12. You know, I kind of joked about Stars Align into Verdant Refuge, but that might have been the play, actually. Okay, so disarm the wrong one, and now Debbie gets a hit in the tower for 10. Might see a Prowler Vanguard just jump in front of Debbie here to take a hit for the team. Nope, he's gonna bless up on the left.
That's so weird to see. Get Hydra armor in that mid lane now. from Treant and the Verdant Refuge.
Yeah, there's so much armor in that lane. So I'm gonna be interested to see where Unscathed deploys both of his heroes. I feel like he needs to go double green left. But, you know, you have double green left, so...
Yeah, because I don't know how you fight against the Farvin with 13 health and the PA sitting on an armor who's about to get a phase boots if you make a play into that, if Unscathed makes a play into that left lane.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know there's a phase boot, so he might think he's safe. But in actuality, he's definitely not very safe. I mean, one way to fight this is you just Stars Align into a Thunderhide pack next turn. It doesn't matter if you have 13 health or not. Thunderhide hits for 14. So that's probably his game plan. However, if he splits up his heroes like that, then it's looking pretty rough. Because suddenly that makes Coup de Grace much more dangerous. Phase Boot is going to get him this turn as well. It seems like this is a sacrificial deploy here by Unscathed, simply to cast Verdant Refuge into whichever lane that he needs to cast it in.
We see a defend the weak. Yeah, it's just like you said, Verdant Refuge does come out into the mid lane.
You'll probably cloak and, you know, survive an extra turn. Also, must be nice drawing your best card out of 3 out of 3 games. Emissary Quorum in hand. Once again for hyped.
Yeah, he has actually drawn that every single game. That's wild. And that mid lane is probably looking like the best bet to threaten 80 in.
No, you generally want to threaten 80 in the first lane. But he might need the Emissary to defend the middle. That's more likely the case.
It's looking to be quite the brawl in it looks like to be quite the grand melee in the mid lane.
Except without Grand Melee, but yeah. Okay. Disarm finds a pretty bad target. Let's see, Whirling Death does nothing. Playing a couple creep doesn't do much. The thing that's tough about Unscathed for the current laning situation is that there is Lila that could swap. There's a phase boot in hand, so I don't see a scenario where Unscathed actually gets really favorable exchanges when it comes to combat. The only thing that Hype has to think about is that he needs to make sure Lila stays nearby the treant, because Lila is a very, very high value target, and you don't want to die to a random no accident.
True. Yeah, I was wondering where that defend the weak was going to drop down at, and that's a pretty good choice, actually, onto that creep.
Well, he wants to get a little temporary advantage. It's always interesting to drop defend the weak on the heroes versus the creeps. Because the creeps eventually die, and you don't get defend the weak back, whereas you do if you put on a hero. He was not looking at Hype's hand, and Hype has 2 items to kill through to defend the weak.
Oh, this is a gutsy play. I feel like it's going to get countered pretty hard at this point.
Yeah, Whirling Death is good against this. Whirling Death just kills that creep, the 5 attack creep. There's Phase Boost still. There is a Lila to swap. This is not a well-navigated turn, I don't think, for...
Yeah, and a Whirling Death also gets rid of Defend the Weak that we were just talking about.
Yeah. I think the play would be fine if there wasn't 5 open mana. The fact that he played it into 5 open mana makes me think he was relatively desperate to make something happen here.
I'm lucky I survived this.
Yeah, so now he just loses everything. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, that was. I don't. Was the help there necessary?
I do think you want to kill the Disciple of Nevermore. It's a incredibly dangerous creep. Even without heroes around. It would not surprise me if he's... Yeah, makes a swap like that to keep a creep further alive.
Right.
Yeah, I think the game is just over in that one exchange. Simply because that was the turn for Unscathed to, on mana 6, go Stars Align, Thunder High Pack. And essentially just go really, really far ahead. Unfortunately, now he has lost a green hero on the middle lane. And then on the first lane, he doesn't have enough mana to go Stars Align into Thunder High Pack. Thanks to Votajo being played on the previous turn.
I'm myself agreeing with you in this case. I mean, it looks... This first lane looks pretty wrapped up in Hype's favor, and so does the mid lane. Like, I don't know how you... Oh, and a Rum-esque Blessing should probably be able to keep this PA alive if he decides to play it here.
You could Fountain Flask as well. There's a lot of options for him.
That is true. He does have a Fountain Flask. Do you play the Red Mist Maul here?
That comes down to Hype whether he thinks he needs it to push the last 10 damage. It doesn't seem like he needs it, so I think he will hold it for the middle lane. Also, Hype currently is very reserved about playing that Coup de Grace, because there's a 1/6 chance of this starting an Emissary. I don't think he needs Emissary to win the game, but we don't need to cast Coup de Grace. You probably don't need to put yourself in that risk.
Yeah, a Coup de Grace makes me really leery. It kind of feels a little unnecessary.
Yeah, so he's not going to do it. He's fine taking the free kill here. And I don't think he will put on the Red Mist Maul. Yeah, he's only 10 away.
Great value in the home field advantage.
Yeah, man. Let's Boar go to town. It's gonna continuously widen that board. And there's that 18. Yeah, Artifact's a game where a game could be very close and just get completely opened up in just one move. And we just saw it in the last turn. And it just snowballs, right? Because had Drow been alive, he could technically go Stars Align into Thunder High Pack, which would give him actually a decent fighting chance. But now, effectively, the game is over. So unfortunately, Unscathed has to do the Thunder High Pack play in this lane, which is less impactful because it's lane 3, but it allows him to port Legion out to start dueling. So he is going to win one of the 2 lanes, or one of the 3 lanes. The problem is now he has to defend both left and middle. Oh, and there's a Blink Dagger in the shop, so... I think what ends up happening is that Unscathed is going to triple deploy into the mid lane, and then PA is going to be able to freely blink to the right. I'm guessing.
Yeah, that feels about the right play. I mean, Hype can kind of just cruise control his way on this. He really doesn't feel like he's in any danger in any of the lanes. Like, it feels like it's pretty safe that triple deploy into the left lane.
Okay, that's fine. Unfortunately for him, though, Hype has initiative. And
right, and I suspect we'll actually see a coup de grace come out at this point onto the Drow, just to stop the gust.
Maybe. It depends on how Hype feels, like which color gives him the most threat. Okay, it's gonna go for red. Duel is a scary thing, so it's gonna cut that off. And Unscathed won't die this turn, but... Well, actually, he might actually still die this turn, because there's still that red miss small.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The red miss small would give him that 5 extra damage, securing lethal. And if you're... And there's no duel available at this point. Red hero's gone, so... Yeah, I think that just locks the game up at this point. I don't...
Well, he could play Sister of the Veil to block.
Onto... Ah, good point.
So, I mean, the game effectively goes on, but the game is over now. Honestly.
Yeah, I find myself agreeing with you. And even if next turn he's got Emissary coming out, so I mean that should provide lethal in one way or another.
You won't feel a thing.
Hethiel coming out. That is such an awkward name.
Is that the name of the Sister of Veil? It's,
Yeah,
it's so
Het-
random. It doesn't fit her, it feels like.
Hethiel. Hetheel. Hethiel. It doesn't sound very assassin-y in my opinion.
Pretty sure all the Sister of the Veil are, like, adopted, right? So,
Yeah.
maybe, maybe that's the original name. Doesn't seem like Unscathed is actually going to be able to take it to this tower either.
Came close. Just 3 damage away, but that doesn't...
Oh, that's a second red miss small, so...
yeah, this game...
2 lethal heroes coming in. I do believe he actually has 2 of them in his item deck. Yeah.
So does he play the golden ticket?
I hope so.
Watch, he'll get something silly like Helm of the Dominator. That's what I think he'll get.
I think Unscathed might just concede, though, because he's just dead on board. No, or not.
Oh.
Alright. That's game 1. Hype is definitely putting on a clinic. I mean, I think out of all of the invited pros, he is by far the most practiced drafter, so it does not surprise me.
Yeah, he's constantly grinding draft.
I think when there's like straight up invite only tournaments, generally I'm not a big fan of it. But Hype is definitely well deserving the invite because he definitely grinds.
The draft tournaments he runs those with those bounties on his head, right? If anybody beats them, they get extra money or something like that.
No, that's Sansifka. Well, Sansifka
That's
runs
right.
these 5K tournaments where you have to win the whole tournament and then you have to beat him. Which is
so it's
incredibly low odds, if you think about it.
so it's kind of like facing Shang Tsung at the end of Mortal Kombat 1.
Yes. He's ran 2 of those 5K tournaments. Nobody has won money yet, so...
Hype has decided he's wanted a break real quick. This definitely has been a very entertaining tournament to cast. Just been... It's been really fun watching like some of these decks play out, and the thought process behind some of the card choices. Like I never thought I'd see an ogre corpse tosser. To be honest.
I mean, card's good. I think it's definitely very playable in draft. I'm seeing some really powerful cards in Hype's hand. Obviously, Salamanian's Favor is quite good because you get to ramp right into Primal Roar. And Soul Spring is absolutely amazing. This morning we saw a deck that had 3 Soul Spring in it, and it was just...
Well, I remember watching that, and it was like 16 regeneration or something like that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Okay, so... Ooh. Unscathed lost connection momentarily, but he's back. We're good. I think we're going to just see both players pass through the first round. Not much action here.
You know, not a whole lot they can do with how some of these heroes flopped. So I feel like this draw's probably going to end up going right this turn. Either right or left lane.
Yeah, left lane you have a 50-50 chance of dying straight to PA, which is generally what you're not signing up for. So going into right, never happy with that, honestly, because you have 2 heroes now in the right lane. And right is not as important. I believe I've said that phrase about 40 times now, but it needs to be said.
Yeah, have to stress that constantly. Right lane, not important.
Well, not as important. Still important, but... Okay, so let's see what he's going to do here. I think Soul Spring is generally good, just to kind of slap down. Oh, I'm interesting to see that he put it on Farvin instead of on PA. You can cast Soul Spring on non-green heroes, and if he did put it on the PA, it saves the melee creep.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what lane he's going to end up throwing that Salamani's Favor in. It's probably going to be the first one.
First one looks fine. Lane 2 also looks good, because that ramps you to 7, and you have 2 Primal Roar in hand. So you could roar immediately in the next turn. I would guess second lane, but we'll see.
Yeah, that would definitely be a good play. He does have a Steel Strength in hand, so he could just play that instead on the... No, he can't, because I'm looking at the wrong side. Whoops.
Yep, so it looks like he threw it into the first lane. I wonder if Beastmaster is going to be deployed in there. He's going to have triple here on the first lane.
It's really quite the build-up.
The one creep armed the rebellion to keep it alive and trade with the tree and protector.
If he wants to get extra spicy, he could. He does have 5 mana. He could Divine Intervention in that right lane.
Yeah, now that seeing the Beastmaster also going in there, that makes it quite good. Hyped, thinking it through. So he's gonna throw the improvement into the first lane. I wonder if he just changed his idea throughout the play. Because currently the 2 extra mana is doing not much with the improvement. So that's a little unfortunate.
He could have done the that Steel Strength play I was talking about earlier if he had thrown the Beastmaster in the left lane. And that would have killed the Legion off, but instead he drops the Prowler Vanguard to block.
Just want to point out one more time, had the Soul Spring been on the PA, the Prowler Vanguard would have survived as well, because it would have got the 4 extra regen.
Yeah.
So that I think that was a misplay by Hype, and it's definitely starts showing a little effects here.
Scathe definitely taking just a little bit more time to think about his plays. Having to plot his turns out. Hype's still pretty healthy on time.
Okay.
Gust from.
Yeah, Gus and Short Sword's gonna come out. And critically right now that Unscathed has initiative, so he gets to fire off either Divine Intervention or Verdant Refuge, which will keep his hero alive. If he doesn't do that, Whirling Death will take care of that 5/1/1 creep. I mean, this looks like a good turn as any to Divine Intervention. You can use Steel Strength defensively to keep your Treant alive, but that's probably a very low value play. No, he does it.
And now I feel like next turn we may see another Armed Rebellion go down in that last lane. I don't know what. Well, we got a creep spawning there, so.
Or we might see a Gus. Because Armed Rebellion looks really good mid on right now. Okay.
See Nalon and Lila getting pulled on the side of Unscathed.
Yeah, not much good spot to actually cast it in.
Yeah, he's only going to be able. Yeah, Lila's not. Actually, Lila in the mid lane actually pretty good. She'll get that extra armor from Farvin.
You need a black hero to cast Untested Grip, so you won't be
You're
able to cast
right.
it middle. Alright, Decius coming out to trade. And yeah, maybe just hit fire and just pressure. Duel could come out to block off 4 damage. Honestly, with your LC being the only hero that could duel and she's here without any good duel target, I feel like you might as well duel the Oglodi Vandal.
What about dropping your items onto that LC and then dueling the PA? Should be able to survive that, I think.
So you'll take 9 and then you'll take 1. Yeah, you'll survive. I think dueling probably Farvin also makes sense. You could put Short Sword and just duel the Farvin.
Yeah.
And he duels nothing. I think this is a mistake. I feel like I think when you have one hero of that color and you have playable cards, you just play it. That's generally the rule of thumb when it comes to splashing in draft, but we'll see.
We'll see how this plays out. Nice. That was a great Armed Rebellion, like you said, in the mid. That just paid off so well for him.
Yep. So Whirling Death could be played. Ogre Conscript could be played. He's going to opt for Ogre Conscript.
Tox Arm Ripper about to snatch the arm off of a Drow over there.
Yeah, I imagine Unscathed will play his creeps as well and start moving things around with Lila.
Yeah, Lila would definitely be a great play here. Yeah, because there's nothing else. Hype's pretty much free to act at will in this case.
Yep, he should be able to get the tower lethal. Or not. If he plays Rebel Decoy and swaps with Debbie, that should be lethal. Actually, he's still missing a bit of damage. Never mind. No, actually, it will get lethal.
Debbie, yeah, that's because Debbie gets 2 damage, so that'll put him at exact lethal.
Yeah.
So.
And you can
Your
save
math was correct.
Drow Ranger as well with a Signet Ring.
Yeah, definitely could. So probably it actually kind of worked out for Unscathed there in that case, where he didn't duel anything.
How so?
Hey, well, he would have needed to at least maybe play the short sword.
Right. And he still doesn't need a first sword here?
Right. I was thinking of more along linear towards dueling the PA and getting her off the board.
Right. Well, I think he should duel something, whatever that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, he definitely needs to duel something in this case. But I don't think LC's going to be around for much longer. Hyped has initiative, has coup de grace in hand. He's getting 2 creeps, so dropping that coup de grace onto Legion's head is probably going to be pretty big value.
I don't think he will duel, because he's already winning this lane very handily. Sorry, I don't think he will play coup de grace, rather.
Okay.
Because, yeah, sure, he could coup de grace and get lethal now, but there's simply no reason to. He could save that resource for a different lane. With that said, though, PA is his only black hero, and she's only could be able to cast coup de grace here, so he might as well just do it, is how he feels, perhaps. Yeah. Looks like he's gonna just chill. So duel again could come out here to prevent lethal.
I think Hyped is waiting to see if Unscathed drops an item on Legion. Legion. If he does, that's a pretty big tell that a duel's on its way, at least towards the PA. If it's a cloak, it's towards the PA. If it's a traveler, oh, he just does it.
Duel's a creep. Because this allowed him to prevent lethal without committing any items.
Yes, that's a really great choice. Obviously not one I had really thought about.
I mean, he could have made this duel last turn, right? So he just took 4 extra damage for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up having to make the same play, but with 4 less health. Okay, so Primal Roar looks pretty good here. Pushes Enchantress out of the lane, locks down Farvin. Oh, actually, maybe the tower is defendable now, with 2 more units jumping right in there.
Yeah, that definitely looks a lot more defendable at this point. Do you just do you gust here at this point? Because a Primal Word gets... No, actually, I don't think...
No, you definitely do not gust here. You probably just start casting Verdant Refuges into the left side.
I don't think you Primal Roar here either.
Definitely not. You don't want to allow Drow to get out of the lane for free.
Exactly.
Tiber is going to come down. Maybe in the distant future, he could start pressuring a little bit.
The distant future.
So, I mean, Hype has lost 1 tower, but his other 2 are extremely healthy.
He does. He is. Oh, those 2 creeps going into the left is pretty big for Hype.
Yeah. That will allow him to put the tree into the middle pretty safely.
I don't know what play Scathe can make to defend this mid. It's only got the 1 creep coming in.
I mean, he could Gust, but Gust doesn't really do much when you're just losing out on the board, which is currently the situation. Okay, he could. Yeah, I mean, he has a 14-14. That's like pretty good.
Yeah, that's decent. It's okay. He does pass though, which is so he must have plans elsewhere for that Thunderhide.
Yes, he has recognized that he has lost this lane, so he's gonna just give up this lane and now go for the middle lane.
Hype does drop the home field advantage into the mid lane though, so maybe he's kind of sniffing that out.
Well, Hype understands that he's going to have to win from this lane and also middle lane, so... The middle lane's the lane that he's fighting for, so he definitely wants to drop his improvements in there. 14-14 is going to come out. And it will be very interesting to see what decision Hype goes for. Whether he's going to go for the hero kill, or he's going to go for blocking some damage.
I feel like I think dropping the Rose Leaf Druid in front of this Thunderhide is probably the play he's going to go with. It reduces it from 14 down to 6 damage on this tower. You're kind of putting a... I don't know.
I like going for the Roar, personally, because you push 6 right now. And you could always make that defensive play anytime you want.
Right.
Because you could still make that chump block play next turn.
Very true. That's a good. Oh, he's going to push for 8 and drop that short sword onto the Treant.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
this
also,
is coming down to a nail biter, actually.
Yeah, it is getting close, especially if Unscathed draws another 14-14, which he has, 2 more in his deck. I think what the other nice thing about that play where he used the Roar is that he gets 5 extra gold, which is extremely relevant because I feel like he's looking for red mist smalls to push through that last 20 damage or so. So if he could find one from his item deck, that would be really nice for him.
Yeah, completely correct. Yeah, I'd like to think Unscathed really tightened up his decision-making in the second game.
This is incredibly scary if Unscathed draws another 14-14 though, because all of a sudden you're sieging in for... Oh, there you go. There's 2 more.
Wow.
Hype also got his red mist small, so he will be able to push through for at least 5, but... This is starting to get really, really tough. Okay, Hype is going to retain the initiative. Unfortunately, there's no way... Ooh, the disarm on the 15-15! Oh my god, that is a 25%. Wow. That is a new lease on life.
That's so unlucky for Unscathed.
I mean, I think he's gonna just play another one of those, but...
Yeah. But now you don't have to chump block that Thunderhide this turn.
I think he's gonna put a unit in front of it anyways. I think what he's gonna do is Rose Leaf Druid and then play a Red Mist Pillager and try to go wide. Yep, 14-14 gonna come down.
See, 6, 12.
Yeah, we're in a very nice even number in which you siege for 6 this turn and you siege for 12 next turn, minimum. Because you could play the third Thunderhide, and that's even more siege.
Yeah, so basically, at this point, all Scathed has to do is not lose, I think. Because I don't think there's anything that Hype can do to stop this third Thunderhide pack from coming down next turn.
Hype could go for a draw.
That is a thing he could do. Completely valid. Sometimes not losing is also winning.
I like to see Hype using the face boots to swap and kill the 5-2-4 creep. And the reason being is that the less unit Unscathed have on the board, the greater chance that your home field advantage will hit a Thunderhide. And every Thunderhide you hit is 6 more health.
That's true.
But he's going to go for the hero pressure instead. I'm not sure what the hero pressure actually ends up doing, because he actually can't kill the hero either.
Tiber really has it out for Debbie. That's 2 turns in a row where he's gotten an arrow going into her.
Yeah, sure. Alright. Hyped, he could also find a Blink Dagger in the side shop. Oh, actually, I think the most important thing that he needs to get is a Disarm on the 14-14. And he finds an Intimidation for a 14-14. Then maybe he has a chance.
Hype did manage to find one of his red mist malls.
Okay. So yeah, he needs to get the correct Disarm. And he needs to find a Intimidation from his deck, which he has one copy of. Primal Roar also could push away a 14-14. Yeah, Primal Roar or Intimidation, but he also needs to Disarm to go properly. There's a lot of things that Hype needs to get. Okay, those are neither pieces.
It'll be a really bad situation if the Disarm comes in on that Thunderhide to the right of Drow.
Why is that?
Because then Primal Roar...
Oh, he doesn't have Primal Roar, so...
Oh, he doesn't? Okay.
I'm saying he needs it, but...
Yes.
Okay, let's see where the Disarm goes. Oh, it found another one. So not lethal yet. But we're gonna see another Thunderhide pack come in. And I don't think there's gonna be a possibility of drawing because he's only sieging in for 10 and not 11.
Yeah,
don't overthink it, Unscathed. Just slam a 14-14 and you should be fine. Oh, he heals first. I mean, I don't think Hype could do anything to prevent that from being played.
There's nothing I can't help.
If you're hyped, I think you... Oh, man, this is such a...
Hype's gonna pass. He's okay with this.
I wish there was a better way.
Slam it unscathed. It's yours, just take it.
I mean, you always go for the win. I think he's afraid of playing the Thunderhide pack, and then his opponent has a way to remove a blocker, and it'll be a draw or something. But at worst, it's a draw, right? So.
Yeah, you just go again. Oh, here it comes.
And that's it, I believe.
Yeah, there's nothing Hype can really do at this point. He's 1 damage short.
Of a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, so home field advantage did get pretty lucky the previous turn, but it ultimately did not matter at all. That's unfortunate. I like this. Make him sweat a little bit.
Wow.
Alright.
That was an incredible game, too.
It was. He had to draw all of his Thunderhide packs, and he did. It was actually crazy. Alright, we're 1 game apiece.
Unscathed definitely showing this series he's really not to be trifled with.
I think the big difference in that game versus a previous game is that Unscathed pushed in the lane that the PA wasn't in. The PA's Coup de Grace was providing too much value for Hype. So I think that's actually going to be the point of contention. Where the PA's at. Also, I felt like that. Remember the Salamania's favor that we thought where Hype was going to put? He put it in the first lane, which essentially got 0 value throughout the whole game. I think
true.
If he put it in a different lane, he might have had a better time. Right, both players going to end up with a lot of gold, and I think gold favors Hype more because his item dex is more geared towards this type of game. Again, the 2 red mist maul is huge. And Hype has a red mist maul right in front of his face.
Incredible. Broadsword and a short sword for Unscathed.
Yeah. Unscathed has a couple of active rebellion, right? Or armed rebellion. Yeah, if he top decks one right now for that last lane, that would be huge.
Yeah, Armed Rebellion would be incredible in that last lane.
Dealer one time? Nope.
What was that?
I was saying dealer one time. Dealer did not come through. Alright. Duel's gonna fire off. Kill the Treant with retaliate damage. It's got a broadsword. Yeah, push for 11. Alright.
Yeah, that Dresden's a giant problem all of a sudden.
I imagine Tiber is going to come down the left and hope to get an arrow.
Yeah.
It's going to start the sieging. Yeah, and then he's going to get counterplayed by Lila. Lila's going to come down, swap. Oh, he could have killed Tiber for free, but he just passed instantly. I wonder why he did that. Maybe he didn't think about it.
Just what I need.
That might have been a misplay. I feel like anytime you could kill the
I'll give my life for the rebellion.
the Songhua Elite is a pretty good. Okay.
Interesting. It's not a play I expected to see. Swapping the creep, Layla with the creep.
Yeah, it saves the creep, so that's nice. And Lila's still around for a bit.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so looks like Unscathed is gonna make a concerted effort to fight into the last lane, which is awkward for 2 reasons. First, you're fighting into the last lane, which is not as important as the other 2 lanes. And also, you're fighting into the lane that they just played Soul Spring, which makes everything incredibly difficult to kill. So, I don't agree with that decision, but he did top deck a Divine Intervention, which will make fighting into the last lane very nice.
Yeah, Divine Intervention into that last lane would be pretty clutch, I think. But if you're hyped, you've got this Celemene's favor. What lane should you throw it into?
You're asking for the Salmane's favor?
Yeah, I'm thinking mid personally. He'll have Treant coming in next turn.
I'll do my part, Commander.
I think he might put it in the left. It depends on where he wants to fight. If he wants to fight middle, then he will throw it into the middle. If he wants to fight left, then he will throw it into the left. Red Miss Maul doing work. That's 5 more damage to the face.
Yeah, it's really good luck on his part to be able to pull that Red Mist Maul turn 2.
Yeah, I think he was able to buy it right after turn 1. Oh, looks like this is a straight up ditch from Unscathed. He is abandoning this lane. Which is a smart decision. You see Red Miss Maul, there's only... Like, it's inevitable, right? They will take the tower eventually. And this is the reason why fighting into the Soul Spring lane is so incredibly hard.
Ready to get to work.
It's like, you think you're gonna get the kill, but they just keep healing.
Well, we won't see Celemene's favor this turn. I don't know if Divine Intervention at this point is the play to make.
Yeah, I think the thing is that nothing else really looks good. Right, Oglodi Vandal literally does no damage to this Druid. You're
And
losing 2
everything's
creeps.
yeah, and everything's so beefy in this lane.
I got you.
Yeah. I think the issue is that he decided to fight into the lane. I felt like the mid lane was infinitely easier to fight into, but he already made that decision, so he kind of needs to follow through. Okay, looks like we're gonna see Hyped fighting for the first lane now.
Yeah, no hesitation out of hype right there. He just slammed Treant right into that left lane. It will prevent lethal this turn.
Yep. Unfortunately, though, everything hits for so hard that he's gonna have trouble winning the defense.
Yeah, there is a lot of good attack damage on the side
Yep.
of Unscathed at this moment. This Treant shows up, is promptly going to get just slapped.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he also did not find a copy of Coup de Grace, which would allow him to, you know, take Legion Commander off the board.
wisdom of what is to come.
Looks like Unscathed is trying to essentially overwhelm this lane with sheer numbers, and it's looking like he will be able to. That Divine Intervention was really good last turn, kind of keeping all his board alive.
My life is irrelevant. The cause is all that matters.
PA decides to drink the healing potion. It's going to keep her alive.
Yep.
So can't really argue it with keeping her around a bit longer. Another chance to top deck a Kudara.
Alright, so Unscathed could just go super wide here. I think this is where I would actually consider even using my Stars Align to basically go Untested Grunt, Uglodi Vandal.
Yeah, I feel like that's what we're going to see because he'll have 4 mana after that. So
Yeah, well, he might just call it a stop and play Untested Grunt. And I think generally that is the right play, but I feel like this is the very unique situation where you just unload your entire hand. Yeah, this... I mean, so...
Now,
Go ahead.
now, do you drop both the grunts on the left hand side, or do you drop one left, one right, and hope for an arrow?
I think you want to go face. I don't think you want arrows at this point. Well, we'll see what he does. I think playing 1 grunt or 2 grunt is fine. The nice thing about only playing 1 grunt is that you save your Stars Align for a Thunder High Pack if you top deck another High Pack.
Hype is having a great response to all these creeps all of a sudden, just shoving the board full of stuff. Great response to a great response right there to swap.
Yeah, he's surviving this turn, but the problem is he just lost his green hero. In fact, he lost both his green heroes. And you lost your Soul Spring as well. So he did survive that turn, but I don't know if he's going to be able to survive the following attack. I think it's super important for Hype right now to find that Coup de Grace. Because if he does find the Coup de Grace, then he's not under pressure in the first lane anymore. And he might be able to survive long enough for his 2 green heroes to come back in. But can he find Coup de Grace? That is the... Or even a Hitfire. Okay, that is Oglodi Vando. Actually, Oglodi Vando is going to be good enough. There's no healing for Legion Commander.
He could just town portal her out of there and just redeploy next turn. That's an option.
He's probably going to just play some cloaks, too.
Yeah.
You don't want to TP out because you still want to kill the creep. So. I wonder if we're going to see PA phase right into the Legion and just trade. Probably not, but that's definitely a line that he could go for.
So how do you? Okay, phase boots is the answer. As I say, how do you prevent this Decius from slapping this Phantom Assassin down? And phase boots, quite a good answer. Probably might want to swap her in front of that Vul Martyr. It's gonna die anyways, but it keeps
There's no weapon I can't wield.
the PA a little safer from damage.
I think instead he's going to just push damage to the face. I mean, eventually he's going to need to find a second tower. And I think this is the lane that he's going to look for the second tower. Okay, Hype's going to be able to take this tower very easily. And I don't think he's going to be able to make a defense here on the last lane. I mean, technically the tower's not dying now, but it won't be too long.
We might see a Demi-Magicking Maul come down, go for the 50-50, either on the Salamini's favor or the Iron Fog.
Yeah, actually, taking away 3 gold is not irrelevant. I think what he's actually even considering is whether he could TP out one of these heroes. For example, the Debbie currently is not doing much. Okay, a Gust. Alright, 50-50. Hits the right one. And he is short 2 damage. Yeah, I think he's going to TP Debbie out now, so he has a black hero on the first lane. He might fire off a no accident onto the Druid before he TPs out, so that the 2 creeps will trade. Nope.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
He's gonna
Let's
save it
go.
for the first lane. All right, this is gonna be an incredibly tough hold for Hype. He does have Intimidation, which allows him to push away a problematic target. Like a 14-14, I guess.
Yeah, 14-14s are usually quite the issue to deal with.
Nope. Just a couple of creeps. I mean, creeps are great top decks at this point, though, because it helps you widen the board. Meanwhile, Unscathed looks like he wasn't able to draw anything too spectacularly. And guess what? Soul Spring is back.
Making this lane incredibly difficult to deal with. He did believe, yeah, he did play that Rum-esque Blessing here in this first lane. Which honestly just pairs with that Soul of Spring so very well.
Yeah. I mean, Duel would have been incredibly nice to kill one of these targets. But just look at how much health. The only thing he could do is actually the PA, but dies to the PA, Duel. Now I think when you're 8 mana, it's time to fire off these Stars Alliance. Just play Sister Veil, Untested Run. Just use your cards.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the doing the double stars aligned. He could duel this creep in front of Decius.
Yeah.
That pushes 6 through, and then you've got 2 Sisters of the Veil. Oh, this is
a suicide
quite the
duel.
play.
You don't belong here.
Okay.
Tell us what you need.
I mean, just look at the health on all these things. Okay, Sister of Veil is gonna come down. Is he gonna Stars Align? If he double Stars Align to play, he could play another Sister of the Veil, right?
Yeah, he
Which
could.
I don't think it's worth that much.
Let's see, 5. Yeah, he'd have 5 mana after that, and we're gonna see how he plays this out though.
Okay. Healing Flask would most definitely come out, I think. On one of these two creeps.
Yeah, it's definitely the safer decision to keep that creep with the armor alive for another turn.
Yeah, so we are at the race to top deck late game cards. Hype has the answer for the first late game card, which is the Intimidation. But if Hype draws one of his late game card, which is like what, Emissary Decorum, he just wins. Okay. Preventing a lethal. Unscathed still has not taken a tower yet.
Yeah, time's gotta be running out though.
There's a Blink Dagger, so Hype could now jump back into the first lane. And that's incredibly important because he has Primal Roars that he needs to cast.
Yeah, he's definitely got to be able to get that off here sometime soon for a little extra delay. And if he gets a good roar off, he could just take that left tower, maybe?
Yes. I don't think it's about even delaying at this point now. I think it's about just winning. That's a Thunder High pack.
Whoa.
Alright, he's gonna just slam it. And probably away you go kind of situation, yeah.
We need to look after one another.
He could, I don't know how I feel about it. I was gonna say he could Stars Align and drop the Nope, never mind. I would hold off on dropping the Untested Grunted.
Yeah. I mean, this board just looks incredibly hard to push through. I mean, if I was Hype, I would consider salving this creep up. Just to keep your wall intact.
Yeah, he's definitely losing one of these creeps.
Hype is also thinking about salving up his Beastmaster before blinking over. Okay, looks like that's where he's going to use the salve. Oh, he's gonna blink. He's gonna re-equip blink here. This is super interesting. So what Hype is thinking about is using Primal Roar on the last lane. Is that right?
Yeah, I think you're right on that. And he landed in a pretty good position because it'll push this.
Well, I don't think
to
you should use Primal Roar. But what if you push the Enchantress into the first lane? Then you just gave him another hero. Okay. He's gonna just let it go. I'm surprised that he blinked Timber and not Beastmaster. Because Beastmaster would have brought along a creep.
Yeah.
And Timber was pressuring middle, which, I mean, you're not going to take the tower anytime soon, but if the game goes super long, you might have been able to. It was an interesting decision, but no big deal. And here comes back all the heroes. That's 2 more Thunder High packs. And I think Unscathed has to start the turn off by playing it, because he could technically get his green hero cooed and killed. He needs to recognize that fact.
Yeah, Fire Height, that's probably the play I'm looking to make.
Uh-oh, he salved!
I did.
Oh, he roars, okay.
Oh, that means Ku's no longer an option. He could drop
he's going
the
for
untested...
lethal. He's going for lethal. Hype is. Because Hype has another Whirling Death to open up this hole. And that's 18 exactly.
I'm lucky to survive this.
Okay. I mean, whatever Unscathed does, he cannot play Untested Run next to this Mazzy. Or the single Rolling Death will get... Actually, if he plays it in front of the PA, that's fine. Because Pack Leadership will give +1 armor to Untested Run. So he will survive. At least for now. Yeah, but we're going to see a 14-14. Okay.
Thinking here. Do you play do you just pass here at this point? If you're unscathed?
Well, he's going for hero kills. That's interesting. Both players are going for hero kills. Unscathed should play his Untested Grunt, because his black hero is dying, right? So he won't be able to play it the next turn. But are we going to see another draw?
It's entirely possible. Because right now I'm thinking in terms of...
Actually, we're not going to see another draw. Hype is going to pass Coup de Grace, and he's going to be able to kill Farvin. So this last Thunder Hype pack is not going to come out. And he needs to siege for one more. He only sieging for 6 right now, and Hype is a 7. Provided that Hype is going to have a blocker, but he has Beastmaster coming in with the boar intact. So yeah, I think Hype has done it. He is going to be at 1 health, but he will win the game.
That's all you need. It's not a 0 or a minus.
Man.
Hell of a game.
Yeah, hell of a series, actually. Like, the games are coming down to the wire. And the point I made at the end of the game 2 is the fact that Unscathed was able to win game 2 because he wasn't pushing into PA's lane. In late game scenarios, when you push into PA's lane, stuff like this happens. You just straight up lose a hero.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Good stuff from Hype, clutching that one out.
Yep.
Whew.
Alright. Hype made it through. I think a lot harder than perhaps what he has imagined. And we are going to go into the losers. Gonna make sure my 2 players are ready to go.